Still haven't tried the Locklicious all-natural hair care product line? Well, let's hear what the Lock community has to say about it.
I love how it sprays and how it feels, you guys. Like, it feels so good. And it smells amazing, you guys.
The Lock and Twist moisturizer was really good for me. The hydration mist was phenomenal.
This is bomb, baby. I was really impressed, kind of blown away, and I think that if you're struggling, definitely go check them out.
And check out the 5-star reviews on our website. So, what are you waiting for? Go to locklicious.com to start treating your crown like royalty.
So that was a brother that, he was being a victim of a domestic violence situation. And I want you to hear this clip because this race soldier in this particular video, he has a history. But let's go ahead and roll that clip.
It was the morning of October 4th when the first of 2 911 calls were placed about a domestic disturbance between Michael Craig and his wife. Craig had told his young son to ask a neighbor for help. That neighbor made the call.
The son is 6 years old. He knocked on my door and woke me up, and he said his mom got a knife.
The second call was from Craig himself, saying his wife was attacking him with a knife.
Hello? I need the police over here. My wife got a knife on me. She got the knife around my neck. Right now I can't move. If I move, she gonna kill me.
Body cam video shows officers arriving at the apartment building in the 7700 block of South Carpenter. They meet Craig's son outside, who tells them again what's happening.
He said, my mommy has a knife to my daddy.
Michael Oppenheimer is the attorney for Michael Craig's family. They had been lobbying for the release of the video because they say police wrongly targeted Craig, who was the victim of domestic violence.
It seems that they knew that this man was the victim from the very beginning. And yet what they did was they targeted him from the very beginning.
Body cam video shows the officer walking up the stairs to Craig's apartment, taking out his taser. Screams are heard, and the officer also draws his firearm. And a man and a woman are seen fighting in the apartment. It is here where we are freezing the video. Both the taser and the gun are fired, hitting Craig. He goes down, and a second shot is fired. Officers repeatedly check the woman for injuries, but she does not answer them, while Craig lays dying.
My dad laid there like a dog and died.
Craig's family wants CPD to reform how it responds to domestic violence situations.
This will not be the last time that something like this happens if the city of Chicago don't change its ways.
So in 2018, former Superintendent Eddie Johnson filed charges with the board regarding the officer's ability to perform his duties following his March 16 arrest for domestic disturbance, during which Covarrubias reportedly appeared to be intoxicated. We're talking about the race soldier that shot this brother. It said the officer was also accused of threatening a fellow cop and tampering with paperwork in a squad car during his arrest. This cop refused to take a breathalyzer test and was later charged with assault for threatening another officer. At the time, former Chief Johnson testified that the race soldier admitted to being under enormous amounts of stress related to a job as a police officer and that he did not drink prior to joining the police department. He also stated that the race soldier claimed that he was affected by the poverty, despair, and violence that he encountered on a daily basis, though Johnson had been looking to have the race soldier fired. Instead, the officer was suspended despite being found guilty of all charges against him. Now, his suspension lasted only 3 months. He was reinstated shortly after seeking treatment for his drinking problem and had been cleared for duty by a psychologist. Now, it said the brother's family is questioning why the race soldier was ever really fit to return to work following the tragic event that took place in early morning hours of October the 4th when the race soldier arrived at their brother's home. Now, they said the race soldier somehow convinced, the police board that he was all set to go and fit for duty. It's the attorney for the family, okay? And you heard some of that. Now, this is the thing. So there was a race soldier that should not have been there, and immediately he went to kill, this brother. Now, this commentary, to me, could go two ways, so I'm going to stick just to the race soldier aspect. I'm going to talk about the other aspect of this video, probably on the Phillip Scott show, because we need to talk about the relationship aspect and the, things like the domestic violence that men actually deal with as well. So I'm not going to get into that. We'll talk about that on the Phillip Scott show on the live stream. But this race soldier, he should not have been there, first and foremost. He should not have been there whatsoever. Now, of course, he walked into the situation. He saw them going back and forth. Remember, the man is the one that called and say, she got the knife to my neck. So obviously he's the victim. So if he's the victim, why are you got your taser out and your gun drawn? Why? And how many times have I said to people, we grew up not calling the race soldiers because they old people always told me, the moment you call the race soldiers, you done lost control of the situation, because now it's going to be what they say and whatever they choose to do with you and your family member. Now that man, according to the history, that wasn't her first time pulling a knife on him. That wasn't her first time. Now he should have got away from her. Understand what I'm saying? Because men, it's a whole lot I want to say about that. So let me continue on this race soldier. So this race soldier using drugs, a drunk, and he's on the job. Now, former Chief Johnson did what he could in his capacity to get his behind removed. And these folks still let this man back on the job. So the Chicago City Council is just as responsible as well. Why would you let that fool back on the police department? He was even attacking his other cops. He was a lunatic. And you let him back on? See, this is what causes people to turn up in the street and cause uprisings. It's because your local city governments know these people are a problem and you let them right back on the police force. And then later he ended up killing somebody. And now you want to say, I don't understand why they so upset. Why they got to react that way? Look at what they doing to the businesses. Well, it wouldn't have got that way if he'd have been let go long time ago. You understand? Those police that's running around here, that's a problem. It's not like that's the first time they done something. They have a history. They keep these, the evil imbeciles on the streets to do what they're doing. And then when they get shocked, when all of a sudden now everybody turned up in the streets. I don't feel sorry for no city when that happens to them. Because every single time, if you look into the history, name a police that's been involved with killing black folks or doing something, and they dig into their history, all of them were dirty. All of them had problems prior to that. They wasn't they just such a great law enforcement, and oh my God, we should just respect the police. They don't respect the police. If they respect the police, they wouldn't do the crap they're doing. So I always know that when they end up doing things, you go back to Amber Geiger. When they start researching her, look at her history. Darren Wilson, look at his history. Michael Slager, look at his history. All of them that have killed black people, look at their history. Daniel Pantaleo, look at his history. And it's a known problem with them folks. So like I say, when people get turned up in the street because of what them police, blame your mayors and blame your city council. Because they allowed them to run around doing that mess. And now it finally caught up to them. We're catching a body in the black community. But let me know what you think, in the comments, ladies and gentlemen, those of you who live in Chicago. And that's just not the only one running around like that now. There's a bunch of them running around, especially in that city of Chicago. Let me tell you something now. I'm not for the mandates, but the mandates were the best thing ever for them race soldiers. Get them out of there. Certain ones you don't want around there, and them mandates are removing a lot of them.
Thank you for watching, and make sure you subscribe to our YouTube channel and check out the African Diaspora News Channel app in the Google Play and Apple App Store.
Living in America as a black person, you recognize there is one set of laws for you and one set of laws for those, especially in the white community. In our book, Passive Aggressive Racism in the System of White Supremacy, I take you through times in my life when I first started noticing white supremacy. We teach you how to recognize it, identify it, and also counter it in our book. This book is a beginner's course for those that are just starting to wake up and open their eyes to see the system of white supremacy. As a black American person, you must understand this system because this system is life or death to you. How you handle it, how you deal with it, it can affect your mental health if you don't understand this system. Pick up our book, Passive Aggressive Racism and the System of White Supremacy, today on Amazon.